So that him just being here, trust me, he's just changed the whole culture of the club. And like you've got Luke Shaw at your team. Bielsa would not even look twice at Luke Shaw, and I'm being serious. His body type, Bielsa would say, "What is this?"
His body type, you know.
His body type.
I can believe that though, because Pochettino coming from Bielsa's academy was on the same kind of thing. Like if you're fat or chubby and you're not putting in the work, you're not playing. Like you're not laughing. As a rival fan, I'll say they did deserve third. They did. They put on a good run. Don't forget, after the lockdown, they went on a mean run, and they were in really good form. So
they got the two new signings. They got the two new signings.
Bruno came in and was on fire.
Bruno and the penalty. That combination worked wonders for Man United. I can't lie.
I'm all trying to be serious, but.
Why have you then gone back to this 4-2-3-1 where we don't have the players for it? We're playing Scott and Fred. Again, it's just really frustrating for me as a Man United fan. And you can laugh your head off there, Wesley, because we're coming on to Arsenal soon, you little beanhead. Yeah.
You know what, in terms of Man United, I've been waiting to say this.
Another quick question about Aubameyang. While you're sipping that water, Aubameyang or Patrick Bamford? Who are you taking? Who are you putting in your fantasy football team right now? Be honest.
Right now, me.
Patrick? Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Everyone's a Pundit. And this is a milestone one, episode 50. So I've reached 50. I'm kind of proud of that.
Wicked.
And happy to have a new face on today as well. As in, well, anyway, let me not say his name. Let me let him introduce himself. It's the first time we've had a Leeds fan on the podcast. Introduce yourself, please, Kagey.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Kagey. Leeds United fan and all-round brilliant football pundit.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I like
that. Love it.
Pat, you go through.
Yes, what's happening, everybody? It's Patrick Tyrant. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the P, no, it represents T. Let's go.
Wes.
Yeah, big Wesley here. Gooner. Bit deflated at the moment, but I'm still
Wes has usually got bare energy. I don't know what sort of energy he's going to come with today, boy. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm Semps. Please, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and also give us a like. It does help us. Also, before we get into it, KG, you've got a channel starting as well. Do you want to just let everybody know how to add that, or would you just want me to put the link in the description?
Yeah. Put the link in, but you can find me at KGPOV. So that's the link on YouTube, direct link now. I got rid of all the numbers and letters and stuff now, so just a direct link.
Wicked. And I'll throw that in the description as well. And as you know, the guys' descriptions will be in there as well, whether it be Patrick and Wesel. But boy, let's get into it. And I thought the best place to start, which probably was the most entertaining game of the whole weekend so far, which started on Friday, happened to be Aston Villa hosting Leeds and losing 3-0. Now we got a Leeds fan on here as well. What are you saying about that performance, KJ? I know that, as Wesel said, your chest is high at the moment. What was you saying? How did you feel about that performance there?
Showing the guns.
Listen, this is what we do. This is what Leeds United do in terms of the way that we play. We can have a performance like we did against Wolves where we miss our chances, but then get caught and then lose very narrowly, or it just flows and works and goes together. Our play is so fluid. Listen, it didn't surprise me. That's all I'm saying. And in terms of the personnel that we had out, everyone thought that it would be a problem for us in terms of Calvin Phillips being out, two of our centre-backs being out, but this is what Bielsa does. He's got adaptable players that can move around the defence and midfield, and they just plug in a hole and do the job there from there. See, we're a system-based team. We don't really have a lot of stars per se, but everybody knows their job and everybody knows how to do it. and execute it until the 95th minute if needs be.
Yeah, man. See, we've spoken about, or I've spoken about systems quite a lot.
100,
quite a lot on this podcast about how systems make football. You can just see Liverpool in the way, Liverpool's midfield three are not anything special when you put them up against the other midfielders in Europe, but the system is so effective. Pat, what did you make of their performance as well?
Yeah, very entertaining. A really good watch. I like Leeds United. Sorry. I did think, to be fair, that they would have a few problems this year, but so far they're proving me wrong. And I mean, I got into a little bit of a heated debate on WhatsApp because I was asking everybody who they would rather have right now, Patrick Bamford or Lacazette. And a few of the Arsenal boys weren't happy with my question.
Wesley, what are you saying about when you're watching Leeds and you're watching Patrick Bamford banging such a sick hat trick? Like, how was it when did you watch the game? Did you see it or?
Yeah, I watched it, and I didn't watch it live.
Yeah,
everyone's on to me. Watch the highlights. You need to see these highlights. And mate, I was very impressed by Bamford. It's the whole technique. It's the whole way he shaped himself. Because I thought he ain't got that in him. And when the first goal, I think the first one was it the first one? We hit top bins. Was that the second one?
No, that was the second one. The top bins was the second one.
Second goal, top bins outside of the box as well. The way he just ran onto that body shape, bang. The keeper didn't even move. Yeah, it was sick.
It had that kind of knucklebuck feel to it as well.
Yeah, that's it.
The way he kicked it. But you know what I liked, Kagey, was your left-hand side. I thought a lot of your attacks came down the left with Hutchinson and Alioski.
You mean Harrison?
Harrison, that's it. And Alioski. I thought they showed a lot of energy and they had them man on toast all evening, boy. Yeah.
I mean, Alioski is our reserve left back. And he's only there because Stuart Dallas had to go to right back.
Yeah.
He's good further back, but his delivery isn't that great. So that's why I prefer him at left back. But Harrison, we've got for the third year in a row on loan from Man City, and he's just getting better every single game. His first touch is one of the best. If you look out for anything with Jack Harrison, look out for his first touch because he can trap a ball no problem.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And we've got a new winger in Rafinha who's just settling in, and he's had two little cameos, but you might have seen a clip going around of a pass that he made to
the inside left pass.
Yeah, he cut the defense in half, man, with the pass, and it's just like, this is only going to get better. We're only going to get better. Patrick Bamford on that hat trick. I was one of those that thought that we needed a new striker. I'm not going to lie, but he's adapted so well so far. And the second goal was nice, the top corner, because you got to think as well, Martinez has been on fire lately. To even try that against a keeper that's going into this kind of form is audacious anyway. But that third goal, I've watched a few times now. The move itself, the ball from Rodrigo, who's also been an excellent signing too. Costa moving in, Shackleton, Bamford. It was that move was just, when you compare it to what we've seen for the rest of the weekend so far, it's different levels.
This is what I'm saying. When you compare, go on, Wes, what was you going to say?
I just want to ask, before the match, did you feel a victory was on the cards? Because look at the way Villa have been playing. Did you really feel, going into that game, did you feel confident?
Yeah. Against Aston Villa, yeah. And I only say that with no disrespect to Villa, because they have been really good. And obviously their confidence was riding high. But this is what happens to us. This is something that happens. We'll lose a game. Whatever happens in training happens, and we'll come out firing the next game. It's just something that happens with us since Bielsa's been here. So I can never write off my team in that way. Even when we was at home against Man City, you talk about Manchester City here, and I'm thinking, you're thinking, I don't think it's impossible that we might win this game today. And when you saw the game, it was a good back and forth fight, man. So yeah, I didn't think we was doomed to lose, and I just can't think of Leeds like that. And in saying that, that's not being cocky. It's just with what Bielsa's brought to the team.
Yeah. You know what? I think we're all, obviously we watch the games, and I don't even think it's about being cocky. It's just about watching and seeing what we're seeing. Like I'm always, even in my Man United groups, and to some people who consistently keep trying to back Ollie, and I'm just like, have you watched Leeds? Watch Leeds, because Leeds are coming up from the Championship. So you would expect them to be a level below certain other teams in this league, regardless of their coach or anything. The players that they have, as you would say on paper, wouldn't start for many teams in the Premier, or especially your top 6, top 8 teams. So, but the way they play, playing out from the back, accomplished, through midfield, accomplished. They've got a style and play. The way they break as well is frightening, how quick it is. And Pat, you also thought that they would struggle this season, thinking that they could be another Norwich. But I'm guessing now, after watching them for X amount of weeks and seeing them go toe to toe with the best, that they can do a thing.
I mean, because as we can see from the last few games, the creativity of a lot of the bigger teams hasn't been there at the moment. But Leeds are creating chances and scoring goals, and that's all you need at this level to survive and obviously win games. So yeah, I've got to give it to them. Like you said, on paper the personnel might not be star-studded at the moment, but I bet by the end of this season we'll know a lot of the players. Do you get what I mean? And that's what you got to do. They're just taking their chances, and they're playing good football as well. It's not scrappy 1-0 wins or whichever like that. They're playing ball. So yeah.
And it's just in regards to the recruitment as well. We recruited with the thinking in the summer that we was going to be going for the Championship top players, but we've gone and got established internationals. You know, and again, that's down to Bielsa being here, definitely. You know, we got Robin Cockin at £13 million, and he's moved into Ben White's slot. And we don't even remember Ben White. Now, we thank Ben White for everything he did, but for 30 million for a German international, when you see some of the bigger teams with defenders that should not be there, Semps will know what I'm talking about. It's just a thing of beauty. Rafinha, we're not getting that Brazilian winger unless Bielsa's here. Rodrigo, current Spanish international, we're not getting him unless Bielsa's here too. So our recruitment's gone, like, for me, it's a year ahead of what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I think you'll comfortably stay in the league and comfortably finish top half is my prediction for Leeds, just on the basis of what I've seen. This looks like a league this season as well, which is wide open anyways. Nobody's defending well at the moment. Not to say that can't improve later on down the line, but at the moment, it does look like one of these ones where, you know, if you can score goals, then you're going to do well this season. And Leeds have shown that they can score goals, and you can defend as well. You know, I thought that, especially in that first game against Liverpool and making some of the mistakes you made, I thought, I'm not too sure, but I've watched Leeds quite a lot recently. So yeah, I think that you lot are quite accomplished at the back as well. And Bielsa's not afraid to make some big calls, boy. Taking off man after 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
If I'm honest, I thought was a bit like, all right, he got a yellow card and that, but I thought, all right, give man a little bit longer, you know what I mean?
But it was after the second challenge. He made a rash second challenge after that. And Bielsa reading the game and the mood, and basically just said, "No, I got to pull you off." And
Pat's got that spot on. That is what Bielsa does. He's done it to Calvin Phillips before in the Championship twice, where he's pulled him off before halftime. So no one's immune from it. But they as a team, as a squad, will know that it's nothing personal. It's tactical. Like you can get booked to get 10 minutes against, say, Crystal Palace, because you know no one's going to be running at you. It's just a block of 10 DMs in there, But you got Aston Villa there.
I'm laughing, but it's true. I know what you mean.
But you got Aston Villa, who got Grealish, McGinn, and Barkley, who are going to be running, and they'll definitely target you to get that second yellow. So he had to make that move when he did,
And you know what I thought as well? In the first half, both Aston Villa and Leeds were both, I thought they were pressing quite well, because it was a little bit scrappy in the first half. There wasn't a lot, both teams were giving the ball away a little bit. But in the second half, I do think that Leeds went a level above. And I thought Aston Villa were poor overall, man, after being so good. But things could have changed had Grealish scored that won the goal. Because what was it? It was the score? It was 0-0 at that point, right?
When Grealish went through.
Yeah, I think so.
When Grealish went through, man. So what are your, before we move on, Kagey, what are your sort of targets for this season, where would you be happy to finish, or where do you think you're going to finish this season?
I still maintain I think we'll finish 10th, around 10th in those spots, because like as I said on my video, we're going to have performances like against Villa where it works so well, but then we'll have one against, like it did, we lost against Wolves. So it's going to be like that. But for sure, I mean, we've got a coach that can outcoach most of this league, and that's where the confidence comes from. And that's what I said before the season started, before we had the signings. So that him just being here, trust me, he's just changed the whole culture of the club. And like you've got Luke Shaw at your team. Bielsa would not even look twice at Luke Shaw, and I'm being serious. His body type, Bielsa would say, "What is this?"
His body type, you know.
His body type.
I can believe that though, because Pochettino coming from Bielsa's academy was on the same kind of thing. Like, if you're fat or chubby and you're not putting in the work, you're not playing. Like, you're not laughing. I'm being sick. Like Harry Kane. When Harry Kane first come through, Harry Kane used to ask Poch, "Why aren't I playing? Why aren't I playing?" And Poch was like, "Because you're overweight. Lose some weight." And then that's how Harry Kane started to, do you know what I mean, get into the team. So I believe that.
Next time you see like a highlight show, just look at the build of our players compared to everybody else. Our players are all pretty much the same kind of build, all very slim, slender. A lot of them lost a lot of weight compared to before Bielsa was here. So that's why I always say, like, Luke Shaw gets in the Man United team first choice. Like, Bielsa wouldn't look twice at this guy. Not even close.
Where's it just holding his hand?
I forgot about the Leeds and Man United thing, you know. I forgot about
that. You know,
like this guy is going for the jugular, you know.
It's not even shade at Man United. It's just looking at someone like Luke Shaw. That's all it is. Nothing to do with Man United. Promise.
You know, it would have been brilliant if we could be up on here and I could be giving it to Kagey right now. But right now, I just have to sit down and just take all the licks because it's, you know, if we was to segue on to Man United now.
Sorry, before you start, Sebs, can I just ask Kagey, being that he's obviously a diehard Leeds United fan,
yeah, man, go through.
It's brilliant to have a Kagey. Who would you say is a hidden gem for like us neutrals to watch? That, you know, you guys are just coming into the Prem. Who would you say for us to look out? I know you're Calvin Phillips and you're Bamfords, but is there someone that you feel that we should watch out for this year?
Yeah, I would say Jack Harrison and Helder Costa. The thing is, it rotates from each game. One will have a good game, one will be quieter, but both of them are just, they weren't championship wingers. The championship wasn't their style of play. Premier League is where they're getting to shine, and they're doing really well, both of them. So look out for those two. And Rafinha when he gets more settled in. Yeah.
No, will do, man. Will do. Nice one.
Harrison, don't know why I called him Hutchinson, but yeah, Harrison is a G. Harrison was my man of the match in that game because I thought he caused problems all day on that left-hand side, man. So yeah, big up to Harrison. But yeah, if we was to segue on to flipping Manchester United, and yeah, it's a bit of a joke thing. And you mentioned Luke Shaw, like, really and truly, it's funny because I was getting into, you know, like on Twitter, yeah, you just get some donuts that just love to at you and come with their energy, and then they disappear. One thing with me, I ain't disappearing. I'm here. If you want to go, I'm here. Kagey has told me, man, it's a Sunday. Settle yourself. Just come out stop arguing on Twitter. It's a Sunday. So, you know, people were saying, soon as Tellez comes, Luke Shaw is out, Tellez is coming in. And I'm like, no, that will not happen. I know my manager. Luke Shaw will play. It's going to take a while for Luke Shaw to come out of this team. And like what my cousin was saying, like, what defender is Luke Shaw? Because on a real, at least with Wan-Bissaka, you know, he's a defensive defender. You know, he's not great going forward, but defensive, 100%. He's got that on lock.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, you can't say that he can whip balls in. You can't say that he can beat the defender on the outside or in the inside. And positionally, he's awful and he's not a great defender. So what is Luke Shaw? Why is this guy starting for Man United? You know what I'm saying? It's an absolute joke. It really pisses me off.
So you think that's the whole thing? The whole thing with English players that they do? You start, you get one season, and then they hype you like you're the new Roberto Carlos. Why do you end up buying for 30 mil? Because they gassed it so much.
But you know what, though? But what I would say about Luke Shaw is when he first come, he was looking the business until he
100%,
got the leg break. He was looking good. Now,
at Southampton,
all right,
he was looking good, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a long stint. You know, granted, it was under LVG as well. We didn't do anything, and then he was out the team off. But since then, and you know, Kagey mentioned the body shape. Like he's never seemed to look. He doesn't look in shape for the longest time. Jose was getting onto him for the longest time, and he doesn't seem like he's really on working as well. That's what gets to me. It doesn't look like he's trying to work to really improve. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you reckon, Pat, about Manchester United at the moment?
I mean, I was disappointed, man, because like that game was a star-studded game in regards to all the attacking talent for Man United and Chelsea, and it was just a snore fest. It was a snooze fest. There was nothing really. I think both managers just set up not to lose, and it just goes to show that where they both are at the moment. They're both under fire so early on in the season, and they both just basically, it was a negative game. Both managers were very negative, and it was rather like, let's not concede, and if we nick a win, we nick a win. So it was a bit, it was lackluster. That's probably the best word to describe it.
Wesley, did you see it?
Bro, what I want to know is, you see, what's Man United's goal? What are you? What is Man United as a Man United fan? What are you not trying to do? I'm really confused by it. Like, are you not trying to be a Champions League team?
You can't.
I don't get it, bro. Because
at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the season, obviously coming off the back of last season, getting third, I'm thinking, all right, we're in Champions League football now. We're gonna sign X, Y, and Z.
We're gonna import. I got to cut you. Was that a deserved third? Do you feel like you were the third best team in the league last year?
Well, you know what? It's funny because who was better than us, really? You know, can you say Leicester were better than us because they were ahead for the whole season and then they capitulate? So can you say that they were better than us? Chelsea were up and down just as much as we were up and down. So I just think that we were the third best of a bad bunch last season. It's as simple as that. I can't really rate us as being, you know,
you know what? As a rival fan, I'll say they did deserve third. They did. They put on a good run. Don't forget, after the lockdown, they went on a mean run. And they were in really good form. So they got
the two new signings. They got the two new signings.
Bruno came in and was on fire.
Bruno and the penalty. That combination wonders for Man United. I can't lie.
I'm all trying to be serious, but
but yeah, to answer your question, coming into this season, I'm thinking we're gonna now try and solidify third. Solidify that for this season, get Champions League football, see if we can nick a trophy, and then start to push on, improve the squad even more, and then see if we can then start to challenge Liverpool and Man City. Do you know what I mean? But the business that we've done in the window doesn't back up that theory. And then now we're in a position where we've signed someone like Donny van der Beek, and he can't get a Premier League start in 5 games, and he can't get a start when we're playing Newcastle. And we're starting the likes of Mata and all them man there, Scott McTominay and Fred. And then even against Chelsea, you know, I'm arguing with people again on Twitter because they're saying Donny van der Beek don't get in our first 11, which, okay, is debatable. It's debatable if you're talking about the full first 11. But he was definitely good enough to get on yesterday when you've got Daniel James playing, Juan Mata playing, and you're playing Scott McTominay and Fred in that defensive double pivot role. And I'm like, who plays 2 DMs at the moment? We would have slated Jose if he had played that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's Jose in my head. That's Jose football. But it seems to me that, I don't know, Kagey, what do you reckon is the reason why Donny van der Beek can't get a game? Because obviously, I can't make sense of it personally.
Yeah, man. I do think it's the agent comments from like after the second game when he was at your club, you know, with the agent coming out and saying Donny is as whatever it was to do with the training or whatever it is. But there's no other reason for him not to be playing. You know, Ali's talking about it's about who should I drop. But you've got Dan James starting and it's not working for him there. It's you know, Donny van der Beek for me should be ahead of Bruno Fernandes, but it's a hard argument for people to accept because Fernandes scores all the penalties and all that stuff. But no. I'm not saying I'm not saying that.
You're scared when Bruno's on the pitch, though. You're scared. You're scared, though. You got as opposition. You got to be worried that this guy can pull it out.
What?
You don't think Bruno's dangerous?
Not really. I mean, okay. Bruno Fernandes from open play. When was the last time he really, really impressed you from open play only?
That finish the other day, that finish was mean.
Against
against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That finish was tidy. That whole play, that passage of play, and that finish was mental. Like when I saw it back again and again, I was like, wow, that was a finish. But it's
but he loses the ball an awful lot. But when he loses the ball, the commentators go silent. They don't say a word about it, so you probably don't notice it. But I see it because anytime Pogba loses that ball, they're on Pogba's case every time. They wait for him to lose the ball. But Fernandes is trying to do Hollywood passes to players that don't read the passes, and it might not even be his fault. It might, just like with Luke Shaw not running on the overlap. You might have seen that clip going round of Fernandes going, Luke Shaw, run so you can cross it in, and Luke Shaw's just standing there like in the center of midfield. So it might not be his fault, but he misplaces the ball a lot of times. If you really look at his performances, so I don't think that Donny van der Beek should be on the bench. I mean, I don't even know why they signed him. I really don't. But this is the problem with clubs like Man United and Arsenal. These big clubs they've got no strategy when it comes to transfers. You look at Villa, what they needed to do. They knew that they needed a striker. They got one. They knew they needed a right back. They got one. They knew they needed a goalkeeper. They got Martinez. They did all of that. Leicester, they needed a winger. They got Cengiz Under. They got a right back. What's his name? Fofana.
Fofana.
Yeah.
And they got Castagna as well. When Chiril went well.
And you know, we needed players. Our recruitment people have gone out and got these players. Man United tried to do all of this with this Jadon Sancho thing all summer, and it was quite clear as well from the Dortmund side it wasn't going to happen. So what's your next plan? Why is all the eggs in that one basket? Because they go for a name and a number. They're looking at Sancho 7 and seeing loads of shirts being sold. The strategy recruitment at the big clubs at the minute, they're living off past glories. And that is why those clubs are starting to slip down a little now. But there's no way Arsenal should be where they are. But I'm sure we'll get into Arsenal in a bit. But Manchester United itself, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who else in the league or even in the Championship would take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, realistically?
Yeah, and this is the problem. It's twofold, KG, because we've got the issue with recruitment. And that issue in recruitment doesn't just extend to the players, it extends to the managers as well. So what we're doing is we're recruiting badly in the manager, who then comes with one philosophy, then tries to bring in certain players, and then that doesn't work. And then we're then recruiting another manager who then comes in with another style of philosophy and a different class of person. And then none of them are all congruent in the way that they want us to play, because then the way we see it is like beneath the behind the scenes, we're talking and we're saying, rah, this Donny van der Beek seems like a club signing. But how can it be a club signing? It should be an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. And it just doesn't make sense, because for me, we had our targets, which for me should have been a centre-back, a centre-mid, and a right winger. I know a lot of people would add in a striker into that. That wasn't really one of my things. But even those targets, we didn't get any of those targets. Donny van der Beek came in, and I think I probably said it on this podcast as well. Whilst I was happy to get him because it's a good player and it does give us, you know, strength in depth, he doesn't come in and really replace any of the positions that we needed filling. So, you know, it just doesn't make sense. And now we're in a position where we're still playing dry players, and Ollie's trying to do this whole not trying to lose now to save his job. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, are the writings on the wall? Is Poch going to be coming in later on down the line? Who knows? But it's just one thing to another with Man United. 1 week it's looking good because we do well against Newcastle, we do well against PSG, and then he changes the team. You know, 3-5-2 is worked against Chelsea in the past. It worked against PSG. Why have you then gone back to this 4-2-3-1 where we don't have the players for it? We're playing Scott and Fred, again, it's just really frustrating for me as a Man United fan. And you can laugh your head off there, Wesley, yeah, because we're coming on to Arsenal soon, you little beanhead. Yeah.
You know what, yeah? In terms of Man United, I've been waiting to say this. I thought Sancho would have been the perfect signing. That would have been scary. Sancho, Rashford, and Martial, and then Greenwood in the wings waiting to come on. I think that would have been sick. I just don't know why they didn't just spend the extra 10 mil. Yeah, I'm sure that was a debate. It was like 10 mil or 15 mil.
Yeah, but you know what?
Come on, man. You got to spend that money now.
Real is Sancho would have come in, but we still needed more than Jadon Sancho. Do you get what I'm saying? We still needed more than Jadon Sancho. And Kagey is very right in what he's saying about Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes has not been, you know what it's been? It's been since we've come back from lockdown and Pogba came back in the team, Bruno Fernandes hasn't been the same since then. Pre-COVID, he was amazing. Since then, I don't know what it is, but he's not been the same since then. And I personally, you know, Pogba's being made the scapegoat at the moment, and he's not been that bad. I'm telling you, he's not been that bad at all. When he's played, he's been effective. Bruno Fernandes does give you that work rate, and he's, you know, players, United fans like him, isn't it? And this is the problem that we've got in our fan base. For some reason, we just hate certain players. You know, Pogba's, we hate him. You know, not me, but the fan base just hate him. Martial's one. The fan base just want to get onto him all of the time, and it just doesn't make any sense. Because Cavani, what did you guys think of Cavani's debut?
First touch was decent, almost scored. After that, it was much of a.
I need to ask you guys, because I don't want to come across as this bitter or like this type of Man United fan so I need to get the neutrals to see what you lot thought, because I've got my own opinions on it.
On the level, I didn't think much of it. He came on, first touch, almost scored, and after that, he was just like any other player, just faded away and didn't do anything. Like that is what it is.
Cavani was going to be Newcastle's main signing. Yeah, that was going to be their marquee for the year. Remember all that talk about Cavani to Newcastle? How the hell did it end up at Man U?
If the takeover happened,
what I mean. That's crazy. That's like I think
Cavani was a panic buy. After Man United didn't get the Sancho in, he wanted to appease the fans in some sort of way. Cavani is a name, even though he's a name brand player, isn't he? So bringing him in, it kind of does shut up a few fans, and it's a name, and you know, potentially more goals on the team sheet. But I don't know, man. I don't know if they needed them really. You've got Greenwood, you've got Martial, you've got even Garlo. You've got players there that can score goals. You don't really need a Cavani.
What do you reckon about Cavani's 45 minutes? Well, no, he had 30 minutes, 35 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
KG.
Oh no, I can't add any more than what Pat said. He got it spot on. He looked good off the first chance after the corner, but then he just blended in with the rest of the game. It was a bunch of nothingness in the end.
Literally, yeah.
And if I'm being real, like, you know, you've got some Man United fans that are like, yeah, Cavani came on and he showed what we've been missing, and he showed good movement. He showed a new way of playing and all of this stuff. And I'm like, this is where you see the agenda being driven.
What are they watching? What were they watching?
And people just being desperate to try and be right. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, I've made a few shouts recently that ain't been paying off, but I'm telling you that when it comes to my team, I'm certified, and I'm telling everybody, the issue with Man United, as I've said so many times on here, is that we do not have a passage of playing. We don't create enough chances. Pat, you can back me up. I'll keep saying this. Martial will score more goals if we created more chances. As simple as that. But already I'm seeing excuses talking about, if we feed Cavani, he will score goals. And I'm like, okay, but when it's Martial, he needs to score more goals. 17 goals in the Prem, no penalties. But all of a sudden, already we're starting to make these excuses. Feed Cavani and he will score. So if we don't feed him, if he don't score, then the excuses are out already. And I'm just like, nah, this fan base is mad right now. But yeah, right now, if we was to move on from Man United, in fact, actually, before we move on from Man United, Chelsea, man, what were you, man, saying about Chelsea and Frank Lampard?
Dead. Another guy who's under a lot of pressure already after only a couple of games, and you could see that. I think that game, it just goes to show, and Patrice ever hit on hit the nail on the head. He goes, this game used to be a Hollywood blockbuster, and now it was a damp squid. And it literally was two managers literally just trying not to lose, isn't it? Both managers next on the block. Let's not lose. Let's not get embarrassed. We'll take a draw. We move on. And that's not what you would expect from a Man United or a Chelsea team.
Yeah.
250 million and they couldn't create any chances. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah. And look who they've got. Look at the players that they recruited.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And they got substituted. Vernon Havertz got substituted.
Yeah.
What KG? What's your thoughts on Timo Werner? Because to me, he's not looking great, and I've never thought that he was great, but a lot of people do. So I thought, you know what? I've not seen enough of him. Let me see what he's saying in the Premier League, because from what I've seen of him, I don't think he's great, but I haven't seen enough. What's your thoughts on him?
No, I like Timo Werner. I liked him at Red Bull Leipzig, but again, the Bundesliga and the Premier League is two different animals. If you're talking about teams that defend like Bundesliga teams, it would have been Southampton against Spurs. A high line with hardly much pace running back, but he's not going to get that in the league against every team every week. So this is an adapting period for him. I do think if he gets clean shots on goal, I think he will score a few goals.
Yeah,
but he's got to adapt to the rest of the game. It's not the same as in Germany. And the same with Kai Havertz too, both of them. Kai Havertz sometimes look a little bit timid, looks a bit light on the ball, gets a little bullied a little. So it's an adapting process for them. But for someone like Frank Lampard, he don't have that time. Roman Abramovich didn't spend 200 plus million to say, go and finish third again, fourth again, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he's, thing is with Frank Lampard, he talks a good game, especially when things don't go his way, like it did against West Brom, when they were hit that 3-3 draw. he knows what to say after a game in order to appease people. But the thing is, I've seen Frank Lampard's BS since he was a manager at Derby, so I see right through everything that he says. He doesn't know his defense has always been a problem, but now he's kind of fixed that. Mendy looks great, by the way. And he's definitely sorted out the goalkeeper. And that's one thing I'll give Lampard credit for. He didn't continually play Kepa even last season. He brought Willy Caballero in when other managers would just persist with Kepa. So he's not afraid to do that to people, as you've seen with Tomori. How is Tomori not playing in that central centre-back pairing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tomori is in 2020 is what you want in a centre-back. Yeah. That's how centre-backs are supposed to play like him. But somewhere along the line, he's just... I don't know what's happened there, but he's not even playing him now.
Yeah. Zuma looks hella shaky on the ball, man. His legs are all over the place. He looks like he's going to fall over every time. Every time he passes the ball, he just looks off.
It's not even just Zuma though, because the thing is with Zuma, we said it on another show. I can't remember what it was, but Zuma just looks clumsy, doesn't he?
Yeah,
you notice Zuma when he's clumsy, but Christensen is just as bad as him.
Yeah, Christensen
is mad shaky. Yeah. But it doesn't get noticed as much because he doesn't look as clumsy as Zuma. But he is. Trust me. And that's why I don't get how Tomori's not even getting around this team. I don't get it.
Wesley, do you think that Frank's, as KG said, he's not going to have the time? I don't. I said this on here before as well. Like, Roman ain't spending that money and not looking titles or trophies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know what Roman is about. You get me? Do you think that Frank can get the best out of these players?
I personally don't think so. I think Frank got the job originally because they had that 2-year ban. And there weren't no top manager that was coming into that Chelsea team not being able to sign no one.
Yeah.
Now, I think the worst thing that happened to him, that ban got lifted early.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're like, what? We can spend money. They're playing at him. Now the pressure's on. Before, when he only had the Tammy Abrahams, the Mason Mount, he would have got a chance.
Yeah.
He said, look what I'm working with. I'm trying to develop these men.
Yeah.
Now he's like, look, I'm giving you what you need and more. Yeah, he's under serious pressure. I don't think he can do it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that when he first started playing all of them younger players, everyone was like, "See, Frank Lampard giving chance to them."
Exactly.
So Frank
was able to spend money.
That man got booted. It was so peak. The guys that got you there, you just booted them out. Literally.
And the 36-year-old centre back safe.
Yeah. Literally, it's mad. It's like a guy that. It's mad. It's like a guy that wins the lottery and he stayed with the same chick from high school. As soon as I'll never leave you, babe. I stay loyal. As soon as he wins the lottery, she gets booed and he goes and gets a supermodel.
Oh gosh, yeah, man. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on Chelsea. Can Frank Lampard get the best out of these players? Because you know what I'm saying, they didn't look happy when Werner and Havertz come off. Boy, they thinking, what's going on here? CX coming on.
Sims, on the Chelsea thing is before Frank had the backing of being a Chelsea legend, right?
Yeah.
But even some of those fans are looking at him like, yo, what's going on with this guy? Like, why does he keep on playing Mason Mount? You know, what is going on here? People are questioning him, man. Even his own fans that love him. There's one thing being a playing legend, but managing is a different kettle of fish, man. And he's finding that out.
And this is the problem, is at the end of the day, us fans, we just want to see our team winning it. So legend or no legend, boy, if you're not pulling your weight, you're going to get criticized. And especially Chelsea fans as well, is they would have seen the players that they have. So they're expecting to come to Man United and turn us over. Because let's have it right. United have started poorly. We've got 7 points after 5 games. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, Chelsea,
is that it?
Yes, that's it. 7 points after 5 games is mad. But yeah, them Chelsea fans are looking at Frank and they know anyway. He's not the man. Just like I know that Ollie ain't the man. You know what I mean? It's just only a matter of time before they both.
Arteta's not the man. Come on, bro. We know this stuff.
Who?
We know this stuff. Arteta's not the man either. We know this stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna get on to Arsenal.
We know this.
A lot of Arsenal fans would disagree with you, boy. A lot of
Arsenal fans have loved off Arteta. Trust me, I had Arsenal.
Is he the truth?
Had Arsenal man on here last week from free in midfield, and he was getting on to the way Arsenal been playing, saying that you lot don't create enough chances, and he's not feeling Arteta, and he wants a little bit more. And to be honest, I had a few messages from Arsenal fans saying, what's this guy talking about? Arteta's doing this, Arteta's doing that.
You're going to get some more today, fam.
Talk to us. What are you saying? Because you lot just got beat 1-0 by Leicester at home. They ain't won there in like 24 games or something mad like that. And they did a job on you today, man.
Let me tell you something. You got rope-a-dope. That was Muhammad Ali tactics at his best. They sat there and they waited. Brendan Rodgers, he didn't look stressed. You know, when we were putting it on them, Brendan Rodgers wasn't stressed. The commentator said it, and that what made me sick. He goes, Brendan Rodgers is waiting. If they go behind, he's just going to bring on Vardy. He just waited. He wasn't doing it. Then he thought, I'm going to bring him on anyway. Yeah. It's peak. We saw Mustafi coming on, and then we saw Vardy. He was like, oh, come on. As an Arsenal fan, it's boring. Let me get on to Pepe first.
Yeah.
Pepe's a young man. Bro. Yeah. I want to see him move. You know Raheem Sterling? You know why I love Sterling? Even before his skills were perfect, Sterling used to get the ball, look at the defender and say, I'm on you. What are you saying? Yeah? Or he'll be like, you ready to run? He's got them under constant pressure.
Pepe is not that type of player, though.
Oh, he turns around and passes back to Bellerin. Bellerin's bombing on pass. It's embarrassing, bro.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
I think it's a bit harsh on Pepe, if I'm honest, because he's not that type of player, innit? That's just gonna burn and pace and power and beat past a man.
Did you watch him in France?
He went.
That's why they signed him. When they showed me the YouTube before I signed him, they had me doing this. I don't even know why I'm doing it.
There's bare selfies. I need to pull some of those out, you know. I might start pulling them out. I remember all the selfies. I remember all of that.
Bro, what he was doing was getting the ball and giving people nightmares because he's going to run at you. I'm going to drop the shoulder, I'm going to cut in, and I'm going to bang it on the madness.
Do you remember the first game he played? I think it was against Liverpool, and there was a stat that Virgil van Dijk hadn't been beaten on a one-on-one dribble for like 20 odd years or whatever. Pepe ran at him, and every Arsenal fan was just at me like, what are you lot saying? This guy's going to do this, that.
I saw the finesse. At that moment, I saw the finesse. Because he beat him, but then he lost the ball. So does it count? Like, what are we doing? That's the count. I can kick the ball over Van Dijk's head. I can beat it past him. Are you going to give me the credit? Like, it's ridiculous. Nothing came of it. You understand? Nothing came of it.
Wesley, you're on a roll right now. What about Aubameyang on the left? Talk to us.
Right, let me tell you. Okay, let's talk about the Aubameyang thing.
Another quick question about Aubameyang. While you're sipping that water, Aubameyang or Patrick Bamford? Who are you taking? Who are you putting in your fantasy football team right now? Be honest.
Right now, me.
Yeah.
Aubameyang.
Oh,
Come on. Are you expecting this week? Don't draw Leeds back in. I know. But how many times are we going to see that this season? How many times do you think we're going to see that? Though, really?
To be fair, they're playing different positions.
What I'm going to say is, what's that guy? Norwich?
Which one?
Kagey.
Yeah.
On the madness. We thought he was going to have one of those Kevin Phillips seasons.
But on the real, Aubameyang on the left. Why does Arteta keep persisting with that?
Okay, let me explain something.
And Lacazette up front, because that chance Lacazette missed.
Yeah, mate.
Okay. We've got to get onto all of this, yeah? First of all, we'll do with Aubameyang on the left. He's a striker, yeah? He's a striker that in my time of watching my Arsenal, I think I've seen him do about 8 good crosses. He's got a couple goals from the cross, but I've seen him do 8 good crosses, yeah? He does it when he's worse. You know, when Henry used to sit up there on the left, just used to sit there. You know, he's going to be a mazza from Henry. But you know what? Can Aubameyang even twist up, man? I get confused. I don't know if he's even got that in him, fam. Like, I get confused about what he's on.
Yeah.
Like, for the guy who scores all these goals, bro, he don't really shoot, you know. It's mad. I don't know what he does. Like today, I see him taking some tablets,
I see that.
Migraine or something.
I see
He's
that.
not even playing. But bro, he's not a winger. He doesn't move like a winger. So I don't.
But you know what though? It's not just the wing thing, because you've got Mane playing in that position. Do you know what I'm saying? And being effective. It's not necessarily him being a winger. It's being a wing forward. And the system that you lot are playing is restricting him, I think, getting attacking wise. It's Arteta seems quite defensive.
I think he doesn't mind it though, bro. You know why? Like, if he's on the wing, what can you blame him for? He goes, I'm not a winger. I'm just trying to do a job here. See, if he's got to play striker, you've got to do your thing, innit? You're a Batman. You're meant to get goals. You've got to do it here.
But
when he's on the wing,
man's are saying that ever since he signed that contract, boy, he's been dead. That's what man's are saying, you know.
That's the same thing man was saying about Ozil.
I just don't want any Arsenal fan to ever mention Aubameyang in the same sentence as Harry Kane ever again. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you something?
Never.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something now? What is Kane like a sick? Like he's got vision now.
All right, listen. He's been spraying part. You know what? To be fair, Kane's been doing that for a while, but it's just that this year, Sonny's getting onto them and Son scoring from every angle. Do you know what I mean? So, but Kane has been doing that for Spurs and England for a minute. It's not nothing new, but obviously this season people are converting those chances. So yeah, but if Aubameyang doesn't score, he does nothing. That's the problem with Aubameyang. I do rate him as a striker. I think he is a world-class striker, but there's just nothing else to his game.
World-class striker.
World-class striker.
So when he's on the left wing,
he's nullified. But then also, as well, as a footballer, you should have the intelligence to move around. Just because you start there, it doesn't mean you have to finish there. Because with a Liverpool front three, the way they interchange and move around. Yeah, I know.
Who can do that? Who can do that at Arsenal? Who can do that?
But that's what I'm saying.
Kane can't do that with Son, though, can you? You're not going to see Kane on the left wing, are you?
You see
Harry on the wing.
Kane floats about, though. He doesn't just stay as a striker, does he? If he's not getting the ball, he will drift, he will float. Do you know what I mean? So it's about players having intelligence.
I think that we as fans, I know we talk about football IQ and stuff, but I think we place too much intelligence on players in game management, because I think at Premier League level, a lot of it is down to systems, coaching, and a way of playing. Like players don't just decide to do their own thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mate,
they will carry out instructions unless they've been given. Their manager says, "All right, you're gonna have a free role. You're gonna have freedom." They will do that. But if not, if their manager wants to hug the touchline, they have to hug the touchline. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not just going to come inside.
For real.
So when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, Arteta he's tried to shore up the defense because you lot were shaky, and everything at the moment is about being compact for Arsenal. Yep. And you lot have lost that flair going forward. And for me, he's putting Aubameyang on the wing there, maybe for the work rate or something, because other than that, it doesn't make any sense to me. Also with Lacazette starting, because Lacazette is awful in front of goal. Do you know what I'm saying?
One second. Hold on. Before we kill Lacazette. Yeah?
Well, you're not going to back Lacazette. You're not sure.
Listen. As much as you upset me, we have to talk the truth, and I have to talk my truth and Lacazette's truth. Yeah? He was a striker. That's my thing. I go, I score goals. He then had to become a false 9. He had to be someone that now, for his 5'8" or 5'9" short self, he now has to hold up the ball. You know how much slow wine he's giving bare defenders. His bat is always sticking out. He's ready for a wine. Every game, every minute, his bat is out. We call him Tiny Whitey. He does that for the team. I think he's lost that striker's edge. I think he's lost that instinct about it. He's always trying to hold it and lay it off.
Wesley, when you get a chance inside 6 yards, you got ahead of the ball. All he had to do was that.
He went like this.
He closed his eyes. Yeah, he closed his eyes. He just completely. That was a hit and hope.
If Mal done that, what would you do? If Mal done that,
I'd be screaming. I'd be screaming on the sidelines.
KG, what are you saying about Arsenal and the way they're playing? Because, like,
look, man, Arsenal. This is where you have to be delicate with these guys, man. The fans are very delicate people, and as well as Mikel Arteta done in winning the FA Cup, Community Shield, and all that, the football he's played this season has been horrible. Like look how horrible. Look how slow Arsenal break away. Just have a look. I'm going back to my club. Compared to Leeds.
It's not a breakaway. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it can't call it a breakaway.
It's an old age pensioners party, man. It's an OAP party, boy.
Everybody just looks like they're running in mud, and there's so many things wrong at Arsenal. It's unbelievable. But the board, they got the fans right where they wanted them with the party on the transfer deadline day. They got you. They got you because all the problems that you had, you knew you needed at least the 2 midfielders, right? And that would have been a good window for you guys, getting Party in an hour in. But what they did, they knew they couldn't afford or get both. So they knew, and they waited until the last day where you'd be grateful to get one. And all it is now, you're the team from last year that finished 8th in the worst year of the Premier League that I can remember. And you've just added Party in there. And some of your fans thought that was going to transform you into being this new top 4 machine, and it's crazy to even think like that, especially with the way that Arteta setting them up.
2 things I've got to say on that,
Talk up.
Sorry, hello, can you hear me? Talk up the things. Sorry, I thought my voice was getting quiet. Number 1, so you know me, right. The thing about the signings, I'm happy we've got a centre back. Slightly, we needed that centre back, and a few people went through, and you almost went Napoli for the moment. So I'm glad we done that. But the Partey thing, I knew it was just like the Aubameyang contract thing, brother. He knew he was signing last season. They had that discussion. Yeah, he wouldn't have been chilling like that. But when Arsenal not signing anyone, not spending no money, everyone's like, "Oh my God, is Aubameyang going to sign?" I'm like, of course he signed. What are you not talking about? He was too happy. He was too smiling with all the fans. If you knew he was going to do that, you'd feel, you as a person, you'd feel away. You know what I'm saying? All these people come and say, "Oh, you're the man," and all that stuff. But they definitely left it to the last minute. And Arsenal do this all the time. They gas you up, get you excited. Oh, people are going to renew season tickets. We're getting this, we're getting that. Oh, we don't get no one. But guess what? We got Partey. Brother, they had the 45 million at the beginning of the summer. The same 45 million they gave them at the end, they had it at the beginning. Yeah. So what are they talking about? That to me, like you said, it's just a smoke screen to keep us happy.
Yeah. But they're smart though, because look at all of that Party signing going on Instagram and all of this thing.
Tottenham fans are just jealous because you
gassed up the Arsenal fans. Gassed up the Arsenal fans.
I learned the song. I learned the song. Pate after pate. Pate after. But we need something in our lives. It's been dead being an Arsenal fan. That joy of signing, we need that, fam. It's been so dead.
The thing with
Arsenal, what the scumbags done.
They lack creativity. That's the that's the problem with Arsenal. There's no creativity in that side. No one you can say can get on that ball and make something happen. Danny Ceballos, he came in and everyone said he was a creative player. He's a good. Yeah, he's literally washing machine, isn't it? He's tumble dry.
He just left and right.
Spinning around, Kylie Minogue settings, man. Kylie Minogue.
Can't even know
AJ.
sweating, spinning
He's
around.
a decent player, but
Just smash
there's no
through him.
creativity.
Just go straight through him, bang.
There's no one in there that can create. That's the problem. Like Saka, don't get me wrong. I think Saka's a great young player, and if he's on form, he can create an assist or two or a chance or two. But other than that, I can't see no creativity in that team, and that's gonna cost you lot. That's where the problem is.
Ozil sitting on 350 grand a week.
That's it. 350. Yeah.
The
And he's a
formation
creative
doesn't
player.
allow for a creative midfielder.
That's
in
the
that
problem.
formation, where can someone be creative? In that formation, where?
This is where Arsenal might struggle then, because you need creativity.
Definitely struggling.
Because look what Leicester did. They just sat back, and then in the second half, 60 minutes onwards, they said, "Cool, let's go for this." And then lo and behold, you know what I mean? And that's what teams will just do then. If they Leicester played that game to a T. That was a masterclass, if you're being honest.
Mohamed Ali at his best.
Yeah, they were comfortable the whole game,
and then just finished them off.
Yeah.
What's I know what we've spoken about it, Pat and Wes, but KG, what's your views on VAR? Because that Lacazette header in the first half for me should have stood. VAR does seem to make some weird decisions. What's your view on VAR?
VAR's fine. It's the people that's behind it. You're going to get human error. It's just life. VAR can only give you so much. It's then up to that human to look at it properly with their eyes and make the right decision. So VAR is fine for me. I don't have much of a problem with it, but the referees have got to be held accountable too. Yeah. When there's so many mistakes going on, the referee, there's nothing ever happens to them. What happens to referees when they have bad games? Is that they get sent to the championship, so the championship have to deal with that crap. You know what I mean? Nothing happens to the referees except for that. So there needs to be some more accountability when it comes to making the decisions, because there's been a few questionable ones this season already. You know what I mean? So
you know what was funny is David Coote was the guy that was in the studio at the Merseyside derby with the Van Dijk challenge. Yeah. That as we can all see is just you as a ref and somebody in VAR, you must give that. So that's just a terrible decision. So as what KG's saying, they have no consequences, because my man was reffing the week after that in the Premier League.
He was reffing our game. No, he was reffing our game against Wolves.
In the Premier. So I'm like, how can man make such a horrendous mistake? They must review this afterwards, and don't worry, we're going to reward you with Leeds versus Wolves. Wolves versus, do you know what I'm saying? It's mad.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, sorry. No, I'm just going to say something. Going back to Arsenal as well with their expectations and stuff. They've got players in their squad that shouldn't be there, but the fans believe that with a bit more development, they'll be all right. But
talk to me. You said it now. No, talk about the things.
Yeah.
Just won one couple games.
No.
Come on, let me hear this. Because they forget the Peter Isdale days. I'm listening. My ears open. Let me know what the players these are.
We lived the dream, as he said. You know, and then we went into a slumber. But what I'm saying is that Arsenal fans, the mediocrity is setting in even amongst the fan base, because you've got fans that believe that Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, and these guys with a bit more development will be all right for you. But these guys should be on loan in the Championship. They should not be a part of your squad.
21 now.
Not Arsenal. They shouldn't be in an Arsenal team. You'd expect them to be in, say, like a Southampton, and you'd say, okay, fair enough. But you're supposed to be going for something bigger, allegedly, top 4, you know, and possibly more. But you've got these players in, Eddie Nketiah too. He looks good in the Championship, and maybe he could do with another stint there.
You guys had him, right? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think of him? Honestly, like as a Leeds, someone that played. No. Sorry, Kagey, because he played for Leeds, didn't he? For a little while.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get a lot of game time because Bielsa sticks by Bamford through thick and thin.
Okay.
But when he did come on, he looked like a Championship striker. He was getting in behind because he's obviously got a bit more intelligence about him, because he's come from an Arsenal academy, and you can outsmart a few of those defenders and run in behind. But you can see the step up to the Prem. It's a bit of a problem for him, you know. And the thing is, he's battling with Lacazette for a spot. That is so mad to me for a club that is supposed to be a top 4 contender. It's just wild.
Thank you. You hit the nail on the head. Imagine them two are battling over it. Like, brother, none of you are cutting it. So how are you two battling over it?
And this is where the problems lie for teams like Arsenal and Man United, because we're playing players like Daniel James, which again should be nowhere near the Manchester United first team. He should be out on loan to a team in the Championship. He's not.
Yeah, straight. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Again, people, let us know your thoughts on Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Is he doing a great job? Is he steadying the ship and can he kick on? Or do we have a right to question him?
They're calling him Mikel Pulis, you know.
I've called him the water boy from day one, and I still stand by that. The water boy, aka Pep Guardiola's bib thrower.
That water boy won more than your club, mate. All right.
Mikel Allardyce.
Mikel Allardyce
won more than your club has won. Yeah, your whole club. All right.
Let's see what happens this year.
Oh man, if we was to move on, people, no, we won't even bother really chat about Leicester. We've said they done their thing.
Did a job. Yeah.
West Ham drew 1-1 with City. Now this is a game I didn't see this weekend, so you guys
I watched it.
The ones who
watch
it.
I was really happy that because after our collapse in the last 10 minutes against West Ham, my main thing was like I was saying to the Spurs boys, what I don't want to see is West Ham play Man City, roll over and get beat 3 or 4-0. I was like, let them take the form that they've had against Wolves, against Leicester, against us, and go into that Man City game and cause them a problem. And they did. So I'll give them the credit. They're playing well at the moment. And it's not just a fluke. They're taking points off good teams. So yeah, I've got to give them their dues, man.
People are out here calling Pep Fraudiola and everything there. What would you say to people that are calling him that?
So is that to me?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I don't call him a fraud. I like Pep as a coach, but I'm not making excuses for him. But he looks a little different since his mum died, man, and he hasn't looked when they didn't win a game before. He'd be a bit more, fired up and But now it's just he seems very nonplussed about it, and I don't know whether he's been there too long, whether he needs another break or something. But it just feels a little different now with Manchester City. Because as I said to you, we shouldn't have any right to go to play Man City and me think that we can get something out of the game. But the way they were playing up to that point made you think, they can be had here. And he's even addressed the places where they were weak last season in the centre back, and they've replaced Sane with Torres, and yeah, no, it looks like it's taken a bit to gel. For me, they needed to have replaced Aguero, and I don't mean like sell Aguero. I just mean you just can't rely on the guy. Yeah. Reliability for me is a big attribute in football. And Aguero, as good as he is a striker, he's not staying fit, and it's getting worse as the years tick on as well. They need a new striker because Jesus, anyway, I know he's injured. He's not a Aguero replacement long term, no way. So they need to address that position as soon as possible.
Yeah, and he's injured again, I'm hearing.
Yeah, Aguero's pulled another hammy. He's out for a while again. So they're going to struggle, man.
Wesley, what are you saying about City and obviously the way they've been playing? And because I said that they could potentially drop out of the top 4 this season. I know it sounded like a bit of a wild shot when I said it, but do you think that they're firing on all cylinders or can regain some sort of form?
Is that aimed at me?
Yeah. What? No one ain't. What? My mic.
No, because I don't know. You know me, my big mouth. I was talking when you went to talk, innit?
Oh, the beginning bit. Yeah, you big mouth. Go on, talk.
Have you not noticed? You see this big injury thing from Man City? It rubs them out. As soon as I heard that Aguero and Jesus was there, I was like, they're done again. Because to me, when they get a big injury, it's that they got all that money, but it does something to them. Look, Laporte was missing last year.
Yeah.
It done them. And in my opinion, when I heard both their strikers, I was like, Man City are done again. Yeah. And they showed me no different.
Was De Bruyne playing today or was he injured?
No, he played about 20 minutes. He played about 30 minutes. He come on. So he looked okay when he came on.
This
season... Pep had the easy manager. That's what I like to see when him and Mourinho are under pressure. Because you've had it easy. This is what most managers have to do with what Pep's dealing with now.
Yeah, but Pep, to me, I agree with KJ. It doesn't seem like he's got the fight anymore. It just, you know what I mean? Like, really, man needs to win the Champions League. And I think he can kind of realize that he ain't going to win the Champions League with this City team. And he's sort of like, well, I've already won the Premier League, done the Centurions and all of that. And it just doesn't seem like he's got the fight to really kick on. Like, you see with Alex Ferguson, he always wanted to he always had that winning mentality to go again. But it was a thing where he was never leaving Man United. So it made sense for him to always keep trying to build. Whereas Pet's probably thinking, it's time for me to bounce now. I can't really be bothered to build again. Do you know what I'm saying? So, boy.
Been there longer than he normally is. Normally 3 years and he's out.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. He's probably now, he's like, I'm looking to kick.
He's getting still.
Yeah. That ban, if they'd have got the ban, he was definitely off.
He would have been out.
He was definitely off. Liverpool just, again, Liverpool ain't looking great. I watched that game. Nothing special. You know what I mean? Special.
They got the win, but it wasn't anything exciting. It wasn't a great game. Yeah, like the league's wide open, man. Honestly, the league is wide open. If anyone wants to step up, then it's theirs for the taking this year, because no one's looking great at the moment. I know things can change, but right now I ain't seen nothing from anyone to say, yeah, these guys are the real deal.
It's literally like, if anybody can string, 10 games on the bounce, then they're potentially going to be champions. Because
it's funny because Patrick says that, but if his team had beat West Ham, I would have said Spurs are looking really good to do that, because Tottenham are the other team that are playing some really, really good stuff right now.
They do that a lot, though. They do that. They do that a lot, Spurs.
Listen,
over the years, over the last 6-7 years, as an Arsenal fan, sometimes Spurs play football, and I'm like, damn. But
well, see, this season's
like
mad.
They will get vertigo. They get to a certain height, start getting dizzy.
We have been playing some good football. Well, obviously tomorrow, the fact that everyone's dropped points again and we're playing last, I'm just like, here we go. Is the same gonna happen? But
Burnley.
we need to beat Burnley, man.
You'll roll Burnley.
Yeah,
Burnley are my pick to go down. I think Burnley will get relegated this year.
If we can sort out some sort of defense, I think we'll be all right, because we are playing decent attacking football and we have the players in the attacking positions. But our defense is.
I like Sanchez though for you, Pat.
I don't know, man. I used to like him, but I've gone off him. When he first came, he was raw. He was, even though he had a few mistakes in him, it was his first season. He was powerful. He was raw. He was a beast. But this year and last year, he's just looking shaky, man. Like if I was anyone playing Spurs, I'd target him, because he's always got a mistake in him at the moment. So I don't know, man. I'm a bit 50-50 about him. I like him, but I'm a bit like, I've got to be honest, he's not looking great. He's not at the level he needs to be to play for Tottenham or to any top 4 or 6 club, in my opinion.
At the moment, though, as KG said, if you're looking at some teams, the exciting ones, you have to throw Spurs into that conversation, because what Kane and Son are doing at the moment, with Kane dropping deep and just feeding Son. So they've obviously, again, you're talking about system and the way they're playing. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't just decided off a whim that we're going to do this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a pattern of play. Kane's essentially dropping in as a central midfielder now.
Yeah.
And letting Son just run on, and do you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to pick up Kane, and he's picking up the ball in the pockets. And
there's space, fam. When he drops, because you can't leave Kane by himself. You're stupid if you leave Kane by himself. So he's joined the.
I'm saying they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to go and stick or whether to drop off him, and it's a bit mad at the moment. So hopefully teams can figure that one out and can kind of stop this madness that they're doing. But again, defensively is where your potential is going to go wrong for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think you will roll Burnley tomorrow. I think it will be an easy win. And
I hope so.
At the moment you've got you guys, you've got Leeds, and then if we was to segue on again to Kagey's boy, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, man fired a blank today, I hear.
Trust me, money. You didn't get one shot on target, brother. One shot.
Yeah.
I didn't see the game. This was a bit of a weekend for me. I didn't get to see this game. It was enough family commitments. But how did Everton do? Because I thought this would be a tough game for them. Southampton are no mugs. And they lost 2-0. So how did Calvert-Lewin do today, and how did Everton do, Kagey?
Yeah, it was reminiscent of last season's Everton. Just one of those 2-0 losses that Everton would do last year. Because the thing is, Southampton pressed them well, and they made Hammers irrelevant. He didn't get the ball, and Hammers isn't going to run up and down. He doesn't need to do that. You let Hammers do what he does. But ultimately, they took him out of the game, and the service supply got cut to Calvert-Lewin. Then you talk about Digne getting sent off. It was over from there, really. I didn't think that Everton were going to win today, because eventually it was going to run out. They were going to lose eventually, and these are the kind of games that the Evertons and everyone lose. These are the games now, and then they'll probably go and beat Man United at home or so. I mean, that's usually how it goes for these teams, for these kind of teams. So yeah, it wasn't surprising. Southampton didn't play. I didn't think they played that great. The match was kind of on in the background for me. I was like looking away quite a lot during it. You know what I mean?
Man was relaxed in it. He got his 3 points. Yeah. In the background. Oh gosh, Wesley, what are you making of Everton? Have started well, man. Man can't deny that. Do you know what I'm saying? They've started well. They're playing well, and their influential players are playing well. As do you know what I'm saying? I think when you get a player like Calvert-Lewin that's just banging in goals, it's gonna be good for them. And you've got James Rodriguez again, that's just picking passes, and everything's positive. But can they sustain this going forward? Now they've lost one now. Do you see them pushing on again, getting a win next game? Because it's always good to see how teams bounce back after their first loss.
Yeah, because to me it was looking back from the Liverpool game. I don't think they were looking that great. But I know it's Liverpool, but I thought to see. I personally think they'll get. I think if they can maintain to a certain degree, they can get top 6. I reckon get a European place, but I don't think they're going to break top 4 though. All of that, I think that's a bit of a dream. I think it's a great start, but I think that great start is going to help them towards the end of the season when it starts to really kick in.
Yeah.
What if James ain't in the team?
Yeah, I don't see them getting top 6. I see them finishing around about 10th, if I'm being honest. I would give Leeds more.
What's that, Leeds 9th then?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say Leeds 8th or 9th, because Leeds have a system and Leeds know what they're doing. I don't think Everton really know what they're doing at the moment. I don't think they know what they're about. They've had a few good games. They've had a few decent results, but I don't really see what they're about. And again, if Hammers goes down or Calvert-Lewin goes down, they're done. And we know in this league you need more than just 11.
Yeah,
and I don't think that Everton have more than 11. So
it was disjointed today, wasn't it? It was a disjointed performance. Exactly. Like no one was doing anything. There was no pattern of play. Nothing. You know what I mean?
And Sam, so if you, as you know, we called them the pretenders from last year. If you would have saw the game today, that's exactly what you would have been saying. Yeah. You wouldn't have been talking about Everton the way you've been talking about them. You would be saying, "Oh, this is the Everton I know."
Like Everton I know.
And also, Sam, when you take out Richarlison, and I don't rate Richarlison that highly. Actually, I think he's all right. But you think of Football Manager where his pace is 15, creativity is 15, but his finishing is like 7. You know what I mean? Like he fluffs too many for me to be considered. Yeah. But when you take him out,
I understood that one with him. Where everyone's so excited about him. I see him. I think he's all right, mate. He might as well do youths at school.
Yeah.
I can do this, can do that, but when it comes to the end product,
I know. Exactly. That's always been his problem. Always.
But then you take him out and then put someone like Iwobi there. You know you're not getting an even close like for like there. So you're going to struggle.
Championship man them. Iwobi, Balassi. See them man? Championship man them.
But no, Balassi is cold. Like
Balassi,
Balassi, if Balassi was playing under a real coach, and I reckon Balassi could do some serious damage. Like he's a baller. I think that's a mad disrespect to put him and Iwobi in the same sort of sentence there, boy.
Okay.
Behave yourself, Wesley. Behave yourself.
All right. Iwobi is more of a League One bad man. Yeah.
Iwobi is championship. He's definitely a championship top.
But he's not a top don though.
He's not.
When we put them back in the same cat,
Like if Iwobi played at Fulham, and played and started every game, I don't think he would even get more than 6 goals and 6 assists. And that's if he was playing week in and week out. So yeah, it's just like he's not where he needs to be, man.
But this is what I said about Everton now, because I've got a bet on with Torch in it that Everton won't finish. I don't think they're going to finish in the top 4. KG. He thought they would, so we've got £100 bet live on.
He's not. He's not. Yeah, no.
If you want to cash out early,
man was sending me messages when Calvert-Lewin scoring, and he's like, yeah, he was gassed. But I said the issue for them is going to be when they get hit with some injuries.
Exactly. You know you need more than 11, man.
Yeah, man.
That ain't a squad. That ain't a squad. Yeah.
Because he was trying to say that they got man like Sigurdsson to come in.
Come on.
And I was
he's an okay player, but he ain't making a difference in a big game.
The way he was going on was like Sigurdsson was a worldie. I was like, no, I need to take this bet.
No, but Sam, they did recruit well with getting those 3 midfielders in. Torre and Rodriguez.
100%.
Yeah, but they'll always have an issue as well because they got Jordan Pickford in goal, and that is always going to be a wild card. It's always going to be a wild card as long as he's in goal.
You just don't know what you're going to get with him. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Of that England hype, he had a couple of games and like, he's sick. He's the same. England's number 1 keeper.
But this is the problem.
30 million moves to Everton.
This is the problem in football as well. It's not even about players and their ability. There's always a lot of politics and crap involved. Because Pickford should never be England's number 1. Jack Grealish should be playing in that England team.
Oh, come on! How can he not get a game?
It's a madness. And you just realise that some players they just can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Damned if they do.
Why shouldn't have to be pulled for 80 million? That's crazy. Same like Pepe, 72 mil. That's crazy.
I know, it's mad. When Pepe,
People hate him because of what you paid for him. He didn't ask you to pay that for him.
I know. Yeah. It's mad.
Yeah, he's going to be paid that 2029.
Wes, can I ask you? You're an Arsenal fan, right? I have a theory that if you hadn't paid so much for him, he'd be out on loan now with a view to a permanent transfer back to France or something. I genuinely believe that if he didn't cost so much money, he wouldn't even be here because, and I say that on the basis, he has flopped. And it's over 3 managers. You're talking, Emery didn't want him. He didn't fancy him. Lundberg didn't use him in his little stint. And Arteta barely. I mean, again, he didn't even have him starting again. And when Willian was first signed, Pepe was riding the pine. So do you think that Pepe would have been gone if he hadn't been so expensive?
Me personally, yeah. Do you want me to tell you why? Because I gave him all the support I could give him. And I studied him, I watched him, I willed him on. It's just not in him. I'm starting to think because we're talking about almost 12, 13 months later. It's not in him.
Yeah.
It's just not in him.
Yeah, because I said last season, people said give him time, but I just saw it in him that he's not about this game in the Premier League. He hasn't got it. You just have to look at him, and I'm not talking about his body language, face, or anything like that. I'm just saying look at him. Yeah. And look, when he gets the ball, nothing is happening. You know what I mean? And for 72 million, whatever happened with that deal, whatever, you expect a lot more. You know what I mean?
My friend, one of my friends, he's a football coach. Shout out to Mike. He still laughs at me now. He goes, "So what? Should have signed Zaha, innit?" He said that from the moment. He said, "Just get Zaha. It's what you need. He's Premiership proven. He's grown up from the Man United days. He will take an opportunity at a big team now and run with it."
And
And it always buns me because I still see Zaha now. He still does bits.
Zaha still. Zaha needs a move, but he's still.
Zaha shows Pepe should be doing that. Pepe should be doing that for the money we spent on him. What Pepe should be. Pepe could have pissed me up. Pepe could have pissed me up, and I'm old now, and I've got a bit of weight on me. But I'm telling you, Pepe reminds me of Theo Walcott. I'll do the same thing to both of them. I say, I want you to get the ball so I can smash you. I'll talk like that in the air. They won't ever ask for the ball. You know what I'm talking about. Like that. Get the ball because I want to smash you.
He just doesn't have it in him.
Wes had no finesse about him, innit? There's no protections.
Let you know I'm there and I'll be talking. That's what I'm breaking down with the talk. That's what I'm saying. But you see, if you look at Raheem Sterling,
he'll never shy away.
He's coming back. He wants more. Yeah, let's do this.
But Wes, we're not even talking about someone at a level of Raheem Sterling, because you're talking about someone that's top of his game. I'm talking, just take Helder Costa for us. He's looked better in the 6 games than Pepe has done in his whole time. That's not even. I'm not even exaggerating.
It's real talk.
It's real.
Look at that. Even someone Armentore for Wolves.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing, Pepe. He's doing it from bloody right back running past.
Even someone like Harvey Barnes, he obviously played today against you guys. He frustrates the life out of me, but he looks 10 times better than Pepe.
His end product, if he don't, man.
He needs to improve that.
That's below the belt, Pat. I don't think that Harvey Barnes.
He's looking like Lamella at the moment. Like he's looking like Lamella things.
Even Lamella does. Even Lamella does more than Pepe, and Lamella.
No, he's done about as much as Pepe.
He drives me crazy. No, but Lamella will want the ball. Lamella will try and make things happen. Yes, Lamella holds on to the ball for too long, and yes, Lamella is frustrating. But Lamella will still try, innit? And he'll still get you a goal or assist. Pepe is not doing anything.
Pepe's trying internally.
But you know what though, I think the confidence of Pepe is shot as well.
Yeah.
Whenever you see him, like it's not like what Kagey is saying. It's been 3 managers now. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, it doesn't seem like none of them trust him. That must play on his mind as well when he does get a chance. And it's not like he's getting a run of games. I'm a big advocate that I feel that footballers need a run of games sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be throwing them in, taking them out. And he hasn't had a consistent run of games. Never.
Yeah, again, I will say, have you seen his crossing? I'll say it for you for the 4th time. Have you seen his crossing? Semps. Forget everything else. Have you seen his crossing?
He's not a crosser, innit? That's not his game.
What do you mean?
But what is he then?
He shapes up his body to do it, and then he just kicks it at the front post. And you're like, brother, you can't do that 4 times in a row.
I'm not trying to back him. I'm just saying I don't think he's had a consistent run. That's all I'm saying.
But there's a reason for that though, isn't there?
Yes.
3 managers. Come on, man. 3 managers.
Yeah, I hear that.
That tells the story, man.
I hear that. And 72 mil is a lot of money, boy.
I've got to add this about the Pepe thing, yeah. And this what hurt me. A YouTube video come up. It said the day Pepe destroyed PSG. So I thought, let me watch the video. He didn't do nothing. I said, I should be embarrassed making this video. I wanted to delete it so no Tottenham fan could ever use it against me. It was crazy. He ran the ball out of play a couple of times.
Them ones.
That was a Tottenham fan that created that, mate.
Probably trolling at us.
And just lastly on Pepe as well, it's a thing for you going forward, because you guys love to buy from French football, which is fine. But the Lyon president said himself, if you guys have paid 72 million for Pepe, we'd need definitely more than 40 for Aouar, because Aouar is a better player than Pepe, and he's right.
Oh wow!
You hamstrung yourself by paying so much for that one player, because now they're looking at, if you've given 72 million for him, our player is definitely worth more than that. You kind of mess yourself up there as well.
Yep. And why did we sign Pepe? It was a gas thing. Everyone
else wanted installment deal.
Listen.
And also, you didn't have to put the money up all up front.
Pat,
with Zaha.
Zaha said, Crystal Palace said, want the money.
Yeah.
Lil was like, we offered Lil such dumb money. They're like, they didn't even realize it was over installments. They were just like, what, 72? Take it. They're getting 7 million a year. They're pissed right now. They're angry with us.
It's a joke. Yeah, it's a joke.
Someone done juju on Pepe, I swear. That's what must happen. It can't be this bad, fam.
Yeah. Well, boy. He is that bad, it seems, but God bless him, man. We'll move on from Pepe. Just to finish up now, we're on these last games. Wolves, Newcastle. Wolves, for me, are looking a little bit stale at the moment. They don't seem to have that same zazz that they had before. Adama Traore is not able to affect the game the way he was. And again, it is early days, but I think that they're going to start to fall a little bit further behind. Where did they finish last season? It was outside the top 8, wasn't it?
7. It was 7th.
Did they finish 7th?
Because we finished 6th. No, we had the same points.
No, Leicester finished 7th.
No.
Sorry. No. Leicester finished 5th.
Leicester finished 5th. We finished 6th. Wolves finished 7th. We finished on the same points, but our goal difference was a lot better.
Okay.
Because we ended up drawing.
Arsenal 8th.
Arsenal 8th. So
okay. Where do you lot think that Wolves will finish this season? Because to me, it just
12th, 13th, something like that. I think they'd be safe, but I don't see them affecting the. I think with Wolves, I think they've tried to be too cute for too long, and it's kind of caught up with them. Like they kept selling their best players and replacing, and there's only so long you can do that before you start falling away. Selling Doherty, selling Jota. Yeah, and sooner or later it catches up with you. Honestly, if you don't replace with the same quality, it catches up.
It's also their style of play. Now, I don't know what you guys will make of it, but even last season, I've never been a fan of Wolves' style of play. Like that whole counter-attacking, soak the football up kind of thing. And they're quite boring as well at times, in my opinion. And it looks good when you see Adama Traore doing something mad and then you throw the ball in and Jimenez gets on the end of it. But their all-round play just seems a little bit meh. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think that because of that, I don't see them having a great season. I don't think nothing near, relegation. No. But again, mid-table, I can see them being around mid-table this season.
I think so as well. I think so.
KG?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jimenez is always...
So go ahead.
Sorry, KG, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think mid-table. Yeah, you guys have got to, and I've said this so many times, I'm sick of saying it, but last season was atrocious, man. The league was terrible last year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You had Palace that could lose 3 games and then win 2 and all of a sudden be up in 8th spot. Yeah. And Palace survived by not scoring more than 3 goals a game. How do you do that? No one was even trying to touch 40 points to avoid relegation. It didn't happen.
Yeah, that was mad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Norwich went down with a -49 without a whimper. Last season was a terrible season for the Premier League. But the recruitment teams this season have recruited better. Tottenham recruited so much better. Everton, all these teams. Even Palace, right? Even Palace, even though Hudson still deploys the 6 DMs, they got Eze in and they've got that Shawai back.
6 DMs.
So
you don't like Palace. You don't.
I don't know. You know what? And it's so mad. Roy Hodgson says he needs more out of Zaha. Can you believe the cheek of this man? Zaha's lucky if he gets. He's lucky if he gets 10 touches of the ball a game with the way that they set up, and he demands more. He must be smart. Look, no, I'm not a fan of Palace. I'm not. It's not so much that I don't like the club. I just don't like the way they play. I can't stand that kind of football. That's not football for me. You know, where your key players are James McCarthy and James McCarthy and all this.
Yeah.
No,
I hear that.
Come on now.
No. I hear that, bro. No. And you know what? Comments like that, though, to me, says that there's something going on behind the scenes. Because Zaha doesn't seem like he was meant to go to Arsenal, innit? And now he's stuck. And he's probably thinking the same thing as what KG's saying. Like, this team is dead. They're not moving in. Yeah. I don't want to play. Like, I'm better than this. Do you know what I mean? And they won't let him go unless it's some ridiculous fee.
I'm still baffled why he signed that 5-year contract.
I was going to say that, Pat.
To me, it made no sense. Yeah, it's on him. He fucked himself. Like,
but at that moment, was he that firing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
He was in demand, and if anyone had any sense around him, they would have said, "Don't sign that," because you know that you're gonna be, you know what I mean? People are gonna come in for you. He's a good player, even if he's exciting. He's someone that even if the end product's not there, Zaha will sell tickets, and he's someone that you want to go and watch. I just don't understand why he signed that 5-year deal. It's killing.
He might have done it for Crystal Palace. He might have been on the thing of, look, I love you lot. You lot raised me. I may not come back. But I'll make sure that you lot are getting the money for me.
Yeah, but
Pepe and Del done that for who did he do that for?
Yeah, but then for Aston Villa. But the difference is when people are putting feelers out to Crystal Palace, they're still saying 70, 80 million. So it's putting everyone off. So I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think they knocked him.
They killed him. They killed him.
At least what he should have done is, instead of accepting that gentleman's agreement of saying that we'll let you go in the summer, is get the minimum fee release clause in your contract, man. Eliminate all doubt and make it a reasonable amount. If you want to sign a new contract, bumper pay, I've got no problem with that. But at least give yourself a get out clause, and he didn't do it. You know what I mean? And he's there like 2 years later now. And I know he goes on Twitter and says I'm all right being here, and he probably is. But he knows that he wants more. He wants to be in a more fluid football team. He's not getting the ball enough. He doesn't get the ball enough at Crystal Palace to be happy. He's a guy that loves the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
You know.
And Fulham, another one of my picks to go down. Would you guys agree that they're?
Oh man,
They're awful. There's no point in them being
it.
There's no point in them being in the Premier League. There's no point in them being in the Premier League. It's just, yeah, they're going to be the whipping boys this year. And
have you seen Scott Parker?
I know, he looks.
He's like, what can I say?
What can he do?
Brentford flopped though, KG, man. They flopped.
Yeah, that should have been them.
Brentford, should have been them.
Sorry, what was that? What was that?
Brentford flopped.
Oh yeah. Look. I said at the time, if Fulham go up, they're coming straight back down, and it's as simple as that. Yeah. I had no faith in them. But if Brentford had come up, they would have kept Ben Rama, they'd have kept Watkins, and they would have added as well. And they've got a really good recruitment staff. That's how they keep on shutting out. Yeah. And I mean, in the Championship now, they've lost Watkins. They've brought in Ivan Toney from Peterborough, and he's knocking them in. You know what? This is what they do. They know how to recruit there. Yeah. And they would have been a more interesting proposition in the Premier League, better football as well if they had come up. But they choked, and it's as simple as that. They had 2 bites of the cherries to come up.
So many opportunities.
They fluffed it both times. They fluffed it both times.
Didn't they only need a point? Like out
of the last couple of games. Yeah, and they choked. And they should have definitely beat Fulham. How could you not beat Fulham, man? Come on. It's all mad.
That Fulham at that as well.
I know.
Newcastle, any word on Newcastle? Steve Bruce, steady Eddie.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing better than what I thought he would do, but no.
He's so disappointed with that.
You're saying, oh no. Yeah, honestly, I thought it was gonna get I thought they were getting relegated last year. I thought they were getting relegated
shaking his head, bro.
So for me, they're doing better than what I thought they would be doing. But
you know what it is with Newcastle, man. They've got so many average, horrible players in there, and the couple good players that they do have. Alec, Saint Maximin should have stepped up a level if he had a real coach and harness his final ball, his decision making. It'd be so much better. This guy, he'll do a shot cross every time. The thing goes over to the corner flag most of the time. You know what I mean? That should have been coached out of him by now. But he's got Steve Bruce in it. Steve Bruce ain't on that. And they've got these midfielders, the Longstaff brothers, that are still living off that Man United 1-0 win.
That goal. They're living off a goal.
That was a goal, though, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. Newcastle are stale as well, boy. They're stale, and they've got a stale manager. But he's steady Eddie, innit? Don't look like he will do enough. They won't get relegated. And that'll be enough for Mike, innit? Big Mike's cool with that. You know what I mean? So I know Newcastle ain't happy with it, boy. They ain't happy with Steve Bruce
because they're going nowhere fast. They're just going nowhere fast. It's like they're running on a treadmill, isn't it? And they're just running on a treadmill and they're going nowhere. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not going to get relegated, but they're not showing any ambition. There's no desire for them to get better. They're just man.
I mean, if you saw the game today and previous ones, when you're talking about playing one up front, they literally mean one is up front.
Yeah.
Wilson is in that box by himself, no help coming. You know what I mean?
It was the same way when they played us last week. Like, all they did was Wilson up front, and then it's just 2 banks of 4 and close to each other as well. Just 4 or 4. And then Wilson all the way up there. It was mad.
It's atrocious football, man. It's horrible. It's horrible to watch, man.
You know what? Have you not noticed, that Kagey, every minute he's just talking about the horrible football because he just that's in it. Like,
he's enjoying the moment, bro.
Trust me, boy. He's gassed. Kagey, because you're I don't know what your opinions are on this. We've said that the league was poor last season. What are your opinions on Liverpool of last season? Do you think that they were as amazing as some people tried to make out, or was it the best of a poor bunch?
No, when you're talking, say, the first 30 plus games, they were on it. Because even when they weren't playing well, they dug out the result. And that's what you've got to do when you're going for a championship. And they did that. There was a couple games where they weren't playing well. And they still somehow win 2 or 3-0.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to discredit their title win. But there was so much in that league that was just, Chelsea in that top 4, they stayed there. And they went through a run in like December where they lost at home to like Bournemouth, West Ham, all these things. And no one else could just say, get out of the way for a bit, Chelsea, have some pressure. They just stayed in the top 4. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It was just a poor league last year, but I'll take nothing away from Liverpool's title win, man. They earned it, definitely.
Yeah, I hear that. Also,
I
man.
say they did, but I think the kind of high intensity football they were playing, I'm being honest. I thought the wheels have to fall off of this at some point, and then we got bloody the pandemic. I was like, that's not fair, because the pace Liverpool going at, they could not have kept going like that. And no injuries. That was crazy. The first 30 odd games, like they were like perfect those first 30 odd games.
Yeah.
No injuries. Everyone was firing. But I thought when they got the 3-month break, I thought, how's that fair? You're lucky.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that, because we're a team that people always say we're going to run out of energy, and we've been doing this for 2 years and we don't run out of energy. It's just that simple.
Because you've got a coach, man, innit?
Yeah, but if it's all in the coaching. If you've got a coach and you believe in your coach and you follow his methods to what he's asking, you'll reap the rewards, and that's what Liverpool have done. You know, look how good these guys look in that system. Trent looks in that system.
Yeah.
Not so much this season. You know, he's having a bit of a slow start.
But you take him out of that system, and for me, he's not.
Yeah, but I will say the same for a lot of our players too, and I've got no problem admitting that.
Okay.
If Bielsa's not there, listen, a lot of these players finished in 13th, 14th in the championship. Yeah. That's what they were on. You know what I mean? It is all about your coaching. That's why it's so important. And I would never ever lose that train of thought.
Yeah, fair enough. I couldn't agree more. As Pat will know, I've spoke so much about coaching and systems.
And systems, rate Jurgen and personnel to fit the system as well.
The way, I rate Jurgen Klopp and buying players to fit a system. Doesn't have to be name brand. It just needs to be players to fit a system. Something that Man United don't do and haven't done for a long time. You know what I mean? Even when Sanchez came in, that signing didn't make sense. We had Lukaku playing. How do Sanchez and Lukaku play together? It just all doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, going forward, and even it looks like with Jose Mourinho, the signings he's made, it all seems to fit a system, fit a way that you lot are looking to play. Do you know what I mean? And
literally all the players that I said we needed, as you know, on views, I've been saying we needed a DM, we needed a right back, we went out and got all of those players, and none of them were amazing name brands, but they come in and they do a job, and slowly, and you can see Spurs have got better. So that's what it's about. So yeah, no, I hear you loud and clear.
All right, boys.
Pat, did it feel like the buses? Hold on, did it feel like a bus, Pat? You know, like you've been banging on about something for years, and then it all happens at once.
Yeah, I was
the
like,
striker, the DM, the left back, the right back.
Yeah, these guys are finally sitting. It's like, because for a while, it's like I'm watching the games and I'm like, am I going crazy, or am I seeing things that these guys aren't seeing? These guys are meant to be top dollar professionals, top scouting people, top coaches. How are they not seeing what I'm seeing? It's so obvious what we need. And this year they finally addressed it. So yeah, it's nice, man. We just got to hopefully push on now.
But Pat's still not rating Daniel Levy though.
I still don't like him, man. I'll never like him, and I'll never like him because I think for him, because like for example, the Leeds chairman, the Aston Villa chair, I don't know who these guys are. They just get on and do their job. Why is it always about Daniel Levy? Why is he always got to be at the forefront of everything? That's just like, you know what I mean?
But he's doing the bits, man. He's got the players in. He's got Jose Mourinho in. Got the stadium done. You know what I mean? You lot got the best stadium around now. Like Tottenham is Tottenham now, innit? Like Tottenham ain't down there anymore. Like you look at Tottenham now and you're happy, innit? Like
we're like
flowers, innit?
They just need something to go in that trophy cabinet because it's dead. I bet they built a big one like that. You keep the same size one that you had the other one,
The irony is that people are like, Tottenham have never won trophies. That's the funny thing about it. But yeah, well, I'll let you have that joke.
Most people are saying Tottenham won trophies when they've been alive. Not that Tottenham never won anything, but since they've been alive, Tottenham haven't won anything.
I'll let you have that after you got beaten by Leicester. I'll let you have that, man. Run off the pitch by Leicester, boy. Brendan Rodgers, rope-a-dope.
At home.
No, at home. Flat.
Anyway, boys, thank you very much for all coming on. It's been an enjoyable one. We bust some joke on there. Thank you very much for coming on, Kagey. I really appreciate it. Again, plug your thing, and I'll have all of the stuff in the description.
Twitter and YouTube is both KGPOV. So it's KAGEYPOV, and that's where you can find me.
Wicked. Big Leeds fan and knowledgeable on football. And yeah, man, big up KG. Appreciate you coming on, man. Real talk. Pat, where can they find you?
Patrick Tyrant on Twitter and Instagram. So just as it says Patrick and then TYRANT.
And Big Weasel.
Yeah, you can catch me on Instagram at Big Weasel. Someone tried to be sly and say Big Weasel, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to catch you still. Big Weasel, you can
Big
read,
Weasel,
punk.
you know?
When you're going to jump on Twitter, though, the world needs Big Weasel on Twitter.
You know what? I used to be on it, but you know it's too consuming, fam. I was just going at people. Yeah. If I got paid for it, I might have done it, fam. Because the strippiness, I can't. You know, you see the strippiness, I can't take it.
All right, Twitter, as Pat will say, Twitter is a zoo.
Twitter is a zoo.
You just got mad going on Twitter.
People will send for you to draw you out. Yeah, you got. It's
I used to get drawn out so easy. Like
I can imagine.
Like with 2 followers. I'm all looking into them and like they didn't even got a picture and I'm still angry, I'm still fuming. I'm like, they want the attention, so now you can
it's a lot.
You don't give them the attention, man. Look, I messaged Sent once. I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, just stop. You're not getting anywhere. What at the end of this argument, what are you gonna get out of this? Nothing. So just come off, man. Come off it. Just leave the argument. Just leave that conversation alone. Mute it. Whatever you have to do.
And the thing
is that easy, man.
Last night it was the same thing. Like it was the same thing, and I said, you know what? I said,
look at his face.
That's like the same thing's happening again. I'm going to bed, and I just came off because it would have been the same thing. People was in my mentions, in my things, just getting on my nerves, chatting rubbish, because I was like, how is Donny van der Beek not getting in this team? And then people actually trying to back it, and I'm just like, huh? It's only 5 games. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. I'm just like, are there really people out there that think like this? I'm like, what's going on? But anyway, I'm Semps, News TV official. Thank you all for listening, for watching.
Yes.
Everyone's a pundit. These are my pundits. Until next week, peace.
Big up.
Yes.